Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 26.
So let's start where it really heats up. Biggins' public taunt. I mean, the sheer nerve it must have taken, or maybe arrogance, to walk into the palace basically wearing the enemy's family.
It's shocking, really. A preemptive strike, and so brutal. He takes the pelts of Daji's dead kin.
Yeah.
And has them processed. The text is actually quite specific, mentioning saltpeter used in the tanning.
Wow. Okay. So real calculation there, not just raw anger.
Absolutely. He makes this into a grand lined robe, and the timing, that's critical too. He waits for midwinter.
December. The coldest time.
Exactly. So the gift seems practical, right? A warm coat. But it maximizes the psychological blow for Daji.
It's pure psychological warfare, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's forcing her, the king's favorite, to see her family turned into a coat for King Zhu.
It's a political statement disguised as loyalty. A very sharp one.
And the setting the novel paints, this intense blizzard.
Oh, the descriptions are incredible. The source doesn't just say snow, it uses these beautiful images. Silver pearls, willow catkins, pear blossoms.
He even mentions the six-petaled shape, wheat.
Right. It creates this pristine, almost magical scene. A silver world, jade universe, as the text puts it.
Sounds beautiful, heavenly even. But then the text flips it, right?
Immediately. It uses that beauty to highlight the ugliness, the inequality under King Zhu's rule.
Ah, okay. How so?
Well, it points out that for the rich, those drinking lamb liquor in their warm pavilions, the snow is lovely, festive.
A pretty backdrop for their parties.
Exactly. But for the poor, who have no rice, this same beautiful snow, this heavenly blessing, is a murderous knife.
Wow. That's powerful commentary. It really grounds this whole mythic conflict in social reality.
It does. And it's into this setting, this divided world, that Biggin walks. Up to the high deer tower, the Lutai, in the middle of the storm.
To present the robe, this magnificent fur-lined robe.
And King Zhu, he's delighted, utterly thrilled. He says it's proof of Biggin's loyal love. Just what he needed to keep out the cold.
But Daji.
Daji. She's watching, hidden behind a curtain. And she knows. Instantly. She recognizes the fur.
Her family's fur.
Yes. And the text describes her reaction not just as anger, but as physical agony. A knife carving her lungs and a fire blazing her intestines.
That's intense. But is that genuine grief we're seeing, a flicker of her connection to her kin? Or is the source just setting us up for her, monstrous revenge?
It definitely fuels the revenge plot, no question. But the description feels like it confirms the personal nature of it. This isn't just politics for her anymore. It's about family.
And that loss turns immediately into a vow, right?
A silent, deadly vow. The text quotes her directly. I won't be queen until I carve out that old thief's heart.
Biggin's heart. The specific target.
The literal physical target. That's what she needs to satisfy this grief, this rage.
Okay, so she's reeling from this, makes this terrifying vow, but she doesn't lash out immediately.
No, and this is where her control is actually quite remarkable. Instead of a furious outburst, which might expose her true nature.
Right, that could blow her cover.
Exactly, she uses court etiquette, propriety.
What does she do?
Her recovery is brilliant, really. She steps forward and advises the king, says it's blasphemous for him, the son of heaven, to wear common fox fur.
It's beneath his dignity. Clever.
Very. And King Zhu, who cares about appearances when it suits him, he agrees. He has the robe stored away.
So he unknowingly saves it. Preserves the evidence of Biggin's loyalty and Daji's deep grievance.
And the text explicitly says she did this out of sentimentality. She just couldn't bear to look at the pelts anymore. So it's this mix of raw emotion driving a very strategic retreat.
So the immediate raw revenge.
Nope.
That's off the table. She needs a new plan.
She realizes she can't just, attack Biggin directly. It's impossible. The text says no strategy available.
So she shifts. From that hot rage to cold calculation. She needs a trap, a psychological one.
Yes, one that uses King Zhu's own weaknesses against him. And this is where her next move is just masterful.
What does she do?
She changes her appearance, intentionally, dramatically. The source says she reduces her usual captivating beauty by 80 or 90%.
Whoa, 80 or 90%. Why so much? Is she testing him?
It seems more like a tactic to guarantee he notices by making herself less perfect, less dazzling.
She forces him, the man obsessed with her beauty, to ask what's wrong.
Precisely. He's conditioned to her perfection. When it's suddenly diminished, he has to react. And he does, immediately. Asks why her famous beauty is faded.
And that's her opening, her cue to introduce the bait.
The Trojan horse, exactly. She invents this story. A fictional sister who Iexme.
Husame, okay.
And crucially, she doesn't just say she has a sister. She frames Sime as a Taoist nun, a Yus, living at the Purple Heaven Palace, Zyungdum.
Adding that layer of mystique. Sacred, maybe forbidden allure.
You got it. And then comes the hook. The irresistible part for King Zhu.
Which is?
Daji claims that her own beauty, the beauty he's obsessed with, is nothing compared to this sister's. That she, Daji, is 100 times less beautiful, Ochi.
Oh, wow. So she's playing directly into his insatiable desire for novelty, for the next better thing.
Absolutely. He's instantly hooked, completely captivated by the idea. He demands to meet this incredible sister.
Of course he does. And how does Daji say this meeting can happen?
She provides the mechanism, wrapped in more mysticism. She claims Sime gave her a fragrant letter.
A fragrant letter.
Yes, and if Daji burns this letter, Sime can use 5-element magic, Shio, to arrive instantly.
So she's feeding him these supernatural tales now. He's just buying it.
As long as it promises pleasure, yes. It shows how easily manipulated he is by this point. Simple deception isn't even needed anymore. Magic works just fine.
But she makes him wait, doesn't she? She controls the timing.
Yes, that's key. She tells him it can't happen right away. They must wait until the next night for the moonrise.
And she needs to prepare.
Right. Daji insists she must perform a ritual first. Bathe and burn incense. Purification.
It's a control tactic, isn't it?
Yep.
Make him wait, build the anticipation.
Increases the perceived value of the reward, exactly. And by framing it as sacred, she makes sure he won't interfere. She gets him to promise not to blaspheme the process.
And he agrees, totally desperate by now, blindly following her timetable for murder.
Completely blind. So the stage is set with the king. Now comes the supernatural part of the plan.
Away from the palace, away from human eyes.
Yes. Late that night, the text is specific again. 3 a.m., Daji slips away, sheds her human form to Fen, and flies to the spirit lair at Xuanyuan Fen, Xuanyuan's tomb.
And who does she meet there?
This is where the crucial ally comes in. She finds the pheasant spirit.
Pheasant spirit, okay.
And the pheasant spirit is actually weeping, grieving over the same foxkin that Biggin had killed and skinned.
So there's shared grief, a shared injury. That connects them.
It provides the immediate common ground. Daji doesn't waste time. She reveals the plan. It's finalized now.
And the plan is?
Take Biggin's heart. Direct. Brutal. She needs the pheasant spirit's help to do it.
So what's in it for the pheasant spirit? There must be a deal.
Oh, absolutely. It's purely transactional. Daji offers a huge reward, a way out of the lonely, perhaps dangerous spirit lair.
On into the palace.
Yes. To join Daji, live in luxury, and enjoy the royal blood meals daily.
Royal blood meals. So essentially a constant supply of life force or sustenance drawn from the palace itself.
That's the implication. Comfort, safety, power, sustenance. It's a very appealing offer. Murder in exchange for a life of ease.
And the pheasant spirit agrees.
Instantly. No hesitation. Promises to come the next day, playing the part of the fictional sister, Shime. The pact is sealed.
Just like that.
Meanwhile, the irony is just thick. Back at the palace, King Zhu knows nothing. He's actually happy, impatient, waiting for the next night. Yeah, waiting for the moonrise. The source even says he's writing poetry about the moon, calling it a jade platter, Ellie, completely unaware that under that same moonlight, this monstrous deal has just been struck.
The deal that seals his most loyal minister's fate.
Exactly.
The king and Daji, viewing the moon, won you.
Yeah, a seemingly peaceful scene. But then Daji immediately starts laying down these strict ceremonial rules.
Like what?
Well, she tells the king he has to use purified hands and he needs to burn incense. This isn't, just chilling on the terrace. It's serious preparation.
Like he's preparing for something holy.
Exactly. And here's the real psychological twist.
Yeah.
She insists the king must avoid the visitor at first. He has to hide.
Why? What's the reasoning she gives?
She warns him that his mortal presence, his fansu, the text calls it, like his ordinary secular vibe, might scare the spirit away, ruin the whole divine moment.
Wow, that is brilliant.
Isn't it?
So she makes him promise to follow her instructions to the letter. She's testing his desire, his obedience, before this woman even shows up.
Yeah, she's making the thing he wants seem rare, sacred, almost unattainable. It's classic manipulation.
She's conditioning him, making him sort of actively participate in his own temptation.
Precisely. He goes from being the ruler giving orders to being this while supplicant, desperate just for a peek.
Okay, so the stage is set. He's hidden away, waiting.
Yeah.
What happens when the guest actually arrives? It's near the first watch.
Yeah, around then. And it's not some gentle moonbeam arrival. Not at all.
No.
We get the supernatural storm. The text describes high wind, really dense yin clouds, like heavy, dark energy. Black fog rolls in, completely covers the moon. And this cold air, honky, it just descends. The king feels chilled to the bone.
So he's startled.
He's completely thrown. He actually wonders if the sky and the earth have just flipped upside down. That's how chaotic it feels.
The chaos is important, though, right? It kind of justifies Daji's weird rules.
Exactly. It signals, look, something supernatural is happening. But then, just as suddenly as it starts,
It stops.
the chaos just vanishes, and into that silence descends Shimei.
How she described.
She arrives heralded only by this beautiful sound, like jade pendants clicking together. One patient.
Ah, the contrast. Chaos outside and this pure sound.
And she looks the part. Dressed perfectly as a Taoist nun, a Daogu, she's wearing this great red robe with the 8 trigrams on it, symbolizing, spiritual power.
Okay. And her beauty.
Oh, the description under this dramatic lighting. It's deliberately intoxicating. The text even points out that seeing someone beautiful by lamplight and moonlight makes their charm 10 times better than by daylight.
So it's amplified.
Totally amplified. Her skin's like fresh snow, her face like the morning glow. She's presented as this perfect blend of divine purity and just, irresistible beauty.
But wait, Daji set up these rules about him hiding. Does he stick to them?
Well, this is where it immediately starts to break down. King Zhu, who promised he'd obey to the letter,
Yeah.
he only manages to retreat into the inner hall. He doesn't actually leave. He stays right there, peering through the curtain. Jelan Tukeo.
He's spying.
He's become a voyeur. And his immediate internal reaction, this is really the first major nail in the kingdom's coffin.
What does he think?
He compares Jimei to Daji, who, remember, was already the peak of beauty for him.
Right.
And he feels heaven and earth separated. Tiani Zhuange.
Wow. Heaven and earth separated. That's intense. It's not just, oh, she's prettier.
No, it means she's in a completely different league, a superior category altogether. If Daji is his earthly pleasure, Jimei is presented as celestial perfection.
And this hits him hard.
It drives his thoughts straight into treason against his own divine right. You have to remember the weight of his title. Son of Heaven, Tianzi. His authority comes from heaven.
It's the core of the state.
It is the state. And what does he think, looking at Sime?
Tell me.
The source is shocking here. It records him thinking, basically, that if he could just have Sime serve him, not being the son of heaven would not matter.
He'd give up the throne.
He'd trade his entire divine mandate, the destiny of his whole kingdom, just for her, for that immediate gratification.
That's the moment, isn't it? He chooses himself, his desire over everything.
It's the definitive moment he embraces self-destruction. He's throwing away the celestial contract in the context of imperial China, thinking that is basically anarchy. He's completely untethered from his duty.
And he's tormented by this.
Oh, yeah. The text says his soul wanders 3,000 miles. He's physically agitated, scratching his ears and cheeks, constantly coughing.
It's just out of nerves and desire.
Pure, frantic desire. He knows she's right there, just beyond the curtain, separated only by Daji's rules that he's already breaking by watching.
And Daji sees all this. The coughing, the fidgeting.
Oh, absolutely. She's the puppet master, remember? She sees he's perfectly primed, the hook is set deep.
But she doesn't just throw them together yet.
Not quite. There's another small detail first, something that reinforces Simei's whole pious act.
What's that?
Simei declares she's vegetarian. Shizai.
Ah, the ascetic touch.
Exactly. So Daji immediately has to order a plain vegetarian feast, Eisuzai. Everything, even the food, has to support the illusion.
The details really do matter in this setup. Okay, so the meal happens, then what?
Then Daji springs the trap. She formally requests that she may meet the king. She even cites his immense longing, his kexiangzi way.
Putting his desperation right out there.
And Simei naturally plays her part perfectly here too. She has to show reluctance, right?
The illusion of piety must be maintained.
Exactly. So she objects. She says, well, she's a nun, Chonshijia. It's inconvenient to meet a layman, Shengsu. And crucially, she quotes the propriety rule. Men and women should not touch.
She's citing all the standard religious and social objections.
Yes. which sets the stage for Daji's counterattack. And this is where the real rhetorical manipulation happens. It's kind of terrifying.
How so?
Daji has to systematically tear down every barrier Shimei just put up, and she does it by twisting the king's own power against those very rules.
Okay, how does she argue it?
She hits her with two main points. First, she says, look, as a spirit or an ascetic, you're outside the three realms. Chaochu Sanjiwei,
Meaning?
meaning secular rules, human social codes, they just don't apply to you. You're above all that.
Okay, so that deals with the nun objection. But what about the king being a layman?
This is the really insidious part. Daji's second argument is that the king, as the son of heaven, holds the supreme celestial mandate.
Right, the Tianzi.
Since he's ordained by heaven itself, Daji argues, even immortals should yield rank to him. Xingxin yi dang rengwei.
Whoa. Hang on. She's using his highest duty
His divine title, yeah.
to justify his basest desire, to override religious rules.
Precisely. She's twisting the very source of his legitimacy to get him what he wants physically.
But isn't that incredibly dangerous logic, even for Daji? She's basically saying the king's personal lust is the ultimate authority in the cosmos, stronger than piety, propriety.
It's completely subversive, but think about who she's saying it to. She's saying it to the king, who is desperate for an excuse.
Right. He wants to believe it.
She's giving him the perfect rationalization. She's merging the sacred and the profane. She's essentially telling him, your desire is your divine right. Pursuing this woman is fulfilling your mandate.
And that's all he needs.
That's all he needs. Shimei reluctantly agrees to the introduction. And the king, he doesn't wait. He rushes out immediately. Any pretense of imperial dignity is just gone.
Okay, so they meet. What happens then?
Well, the initial formalities, the bows, happen. But then there's this really shocking symbolic detail in the text.
What is it?
It notes that after the greetings, the two demons, Daji and Shimei, they sit above the king. Yao Fen Shangxie Zuole.
Above him, physically.
Physically and metaphorically, they have literally taken the higher seats. His deference is now absolute. They're running the show.
Wow. Okay, so the seduction proper begins.
And it accelerates quickly. Shimei plays the part. She speaks sweetly, keeps up the modest act, but her weapon is her gaze.
Her gaze.
Yeah, the text says when she turns her eyes, her Zhuan Kibo like autumn waves, she sends 10,000 styles of tender affection. Jiu Didi Wan Song Fengxing.
It's all in the look.
It's overwhelming him. The text explicitly says he's sweating profusely. Yishin Xiangyan, he's physically reacting to this performance.
He's completely losing it.
He is. And this is Daji's cue. She knows the moment is ripe.
What does she do?
She deliberately makes an excuse to leave, so she needs to change clothes, Genji.
Oh, come on.
Right. It's the most transparent excuse, but it gives the king a clear, totally unambiguous opportunity. It's like, okay, the coast is clear. Go for it.
Calculated risk management, you called it earlier.
Exactly. And the king doesn't hesitate.
He makes his move.
He's serving her wine, right. And he uses that moment of closeness to secretly pinch her wrist. Shuan Yin Yin.
The first physical contact.
Yeah.
Crossing the line.
It's the test. How will she react? She passes Daji's test perfectly. She doesn't protest. She just smiles, maybe blushes a little. That tiny bit of calculated minimal resistance
Drives him crazy.
sends his soul, the text says, straight to the ninth heaven. Hunlinger du Fei Zai Jusho. He is utterly gone. Lost.
Okay, so what's the final step?
The king proposes they go view the moon again. Tai Qin Wan Yu. Back to the original setting.
Full circle.
But this time, there's no pretense. He immediately puts his arm around her shoulder, Dazu Xiangjian. He starts tempting her. Abandon your hard ascetic life. Come live in luxury in the palace.
And Zimei's response.
This is the final confirmation. Silence. And only minimal resistance. The text used that classic phrase, half push, half yield. Bon tui, bon ji.
She lets it happen.
She lets it happen. The inevitable act, described euphemistically as cloud and rain, Yunyujidu, takes place right there in a side hall.
So the whole elaborate setup, the storm, the piety, the rules, it all just ends in this rushed, opportunistic act.
Exactly. The celestial has collapsed entirely into the carnal.
And is there any shame afterwards? Does he try to hide it?
Absolutely not. Daji comes back, finds Shimei looking disheveled, Wuyun Sanlan panting Kishuan Jushu.
And the king?
He's triumphant. Far from being discreet, he openly declares it was a fated union, Tianjiang Shixing, like heaven ordained it.
Oh, wow.
And crucially, he gives all the credit for his pleasure, his luck, to Daji for successfully recommending Shime, Jian Bash Shime Zhigong. He's thanking the demons for facilitating his downfall.
He's thanking them for destroying him.
Essentially, yes. The court's hierarchy, its morality, it's completely inverted now. The entire kingdom effectively exists for the king's pleasure, orchestrated by these two spirits.
And the night ends.
The three of them feast until the fifth watch, until dawn, basically. And then they all sleep together on the deer terrace, Lutai Shisha.
The corruption is complete. Public. Undeniable.
Absolutely. And the poem that ends this chapter in the novel, it just nails the summary. It's devastatingly efficient.
What does it say?
It basically warns. The kingdom's doom is here. Why? Because the king is a fool. He ignores wise counsel, Jonsi-jan, and favors only flatterers, Ninshinyan.
Pretty blunt.
Very. And the poem doesn't shy away from naming names either. It explicitly identifies the two spirits responsible, the fox, Daji, and the pheasant, Sume. King Zu is basically unreachable. He's completely consumed by his consorts, Daji and the new one, Husume. The sources actually say he's indulging in morning and night, just totally ignoring his duties.
Exactly. And that isolation is crucial. The court is completely cut off from the ruler. The text uses this specific phrase, Joan Men Wanli, meaning the monarch's gate is 10,000 miles away. It's symbolic, of course, but powerful. You have loyal officials like Marshal Huang, the Martial Success King, dealing with real threats, sending generals out to guard passes against rebels. But back in the capital, they're powerless. They literally can't even get advice to the king.
Wow, that's the perfect storm, isn't it? A perfect breeding ground for something truly awful to happen.
One morning, King Zu and the two consorts, Daji and Husume, are having an early meal up on the deer terrace, this luxurious place, and suddenly, Daji just screams, collapses, spitting blood, her face turns purple, looks like she's dying right there. And the king, totally obsessed with Daji, just melts down, terrified, sweating, completely panicked.
He's desperate, lost it. And this is exactly where Husume, the newcomer, shows her cards, she's ready, doesn't miss a beat, steps right in with a diagnosis. Almost too convenient.
Oh, absolutely. She very calmly tells the frantic king, oh, this is just Daji's recurring old heart pain disease, the Jizi. An old problem. And then she just happens to remember a cure. She recalls some physician, Zhang Yuan, from way off in Jizu, who could supposedly heal this. And this is key only with a very specific ingredient. A slice of exquisite heart, linglong xin, boiled in soup.
Okay, wait, hold on. An exquisite heart, what does that even mean, linglong xin? Is it just, a healthy heart? Or is there more to it in the lore? The sources must explain that, right?
That's a really critical point. No, it's not just any heart. In this mythology, the linglong xin, the exquisite heart, isn't just anatomy. It's symbolic. It represents extreme purity, incredible wisdom, perfect clarity, basically the highest moral character a person can have. So by naming this specific cure, Husume isn't just suggesting a medicine. She's already pointing towards a type of person, a highly moral person.
Ah, clever. So subtle, but so targeted. But the king, he's still thinking practically, maybe. He suggests, okay, let's just send for this doctor, Zhang Yuan.
And that's the checkmate moment. Husume immediately shuts that down. She points out, look, Jizu is way too far, the round trip. That's over a month. Daji will be long dead before he gets back. No, the cure has to be immediate, which means the exquisite heart has to be found right here. Now, in the capital, Jiuzh.
Wow, okay. She's just eliminated every other possibility, boxed him in completely, forcing the king to look inside his own court for this sacrifice. That's terrifyingly smart. And then, how convenient, she offers to calculate where to find one locally. So she was taught this skill.
Of course. And surprise, surprise, her calculation points directly to the one man who embodies that kind of purity and wisdom. Grand Chancellor Bigan, the king's own imperial uncle. But she has another layer. She says he possesses the even rarer 7-aperture exquisite heart, linglong Gikozichin.
7 apertures. Okay, so that just dials up the mythical significance even more. It confirms Bigan isn't just moral, he's like the pinnacle of morality. And then she drops that last little bit of poison, that psychological jab.
Exactly. Before the king even gives the order, Husume adds this warning. Something like, well, Bigan holds such a high rank, he might not be willing to part with it. See what she did there? She's not just naming the victim. She's painting him as potentially disloyal before he's even been asked. So the king's panic. Now it's mixed with anger at this idea of resistance.
Manipulative genius. So the king, panicked, probably furious now too, instantly issues a royal decree. And Yuza, summon Bigan. But it wasn't just one summons, was it? The sources emphasize the pressure.
No, it was relentless. This is crucial. Bigan receives 6 successive edicts, one after another.
6 demands, that sheer volume, that frantic repetition. It screams desperation, doesn't it? Shows how little control the king actually has.
It really does. It shows a whole court structure is just breaking down. And Bigon, he's at home. He's already worried, sick about the kingdom. The sources say he's thinking the state is inverted and the court politics are unsuitable. Guya diandao, kaojian shi. He's literally agonizing over the chaos, planning how to fix things when these demands start landing on his doorstep. He's trying to save the dynasty while the king is, well, planning his murder.
But that urgency, that pressure, it actually backfires a little, right? It makes the plot leak out. When the 6th decree arrives, the official delivering it, Chen King, Bigon must have known something was deeply wrong. He asks him straight up, doesn't he?
He does. He demands to know why the summons is so urgent, what the crisis is. And Chen King, who's clearly horrified by the whole thing, just spills it. He tells Bigon the entire plot. Shine calculated you have the exquisite heart, and the king needs a slice of the old lord's heart for soup. Just like that. And apparently word spread like wildfire. The text says the officials, even the citizens, learned about this horrific demand almost immediately.
The fact that everyone knew, and yet nobody stopped it, that really speaks to the fear King Zhou inspired, doesn't it? Just paralyzing. But Bigon, he understands. He knows it's over for him. He goes inside, has that final heartbreaking talk with his wife, Lady Ming.
Yeah, and his last words to her, they're less about personal grief and more about legacy, about the dynasty's moral core. He tells her, take care of our son Vizai to keep the family tradition alive. He's mourning the death of loyal government itself. He actually says that once he's gone, there is no one left in the court. Devastating.
But then, there's this small glimmer. Something planned long ago by Jiang Ziya, the legendary strategist. Waziz, the son, remembers. He reminds his father that Jiang Ziya had warned him, left him something, a talisman note, a Jian Tai, hidden under his inkstone for exactly this kind of desperate crisis.
Right. The ultimate in-case of emergency plan, Bigon finds it. It's the Ziyafu, the charm from Jiang Ziya. He quickly burns it, mixes the ashes with water, and drinks it down. It's like a spiritual preparation. An act of faith, maybe? Yep. Then he puts on his formal court robes, gets on his horse, and rides straight for the palace's Meridian Gate.
You mentioned that paralyzing fear among the other officials. So when Bigon gets to the Meridian Gate, Marshal Huang and the others are there, waiting.
They are. They're gathered there, anxious, terrified. They know something awful is happening.
Do they ask him? Does he tell them what's going on?
Marshal Huang asks, but Bigon stays silent, doesn't say a word about the details.
Why? Just focused. Or was the silence itself a statement?
I think the silence is powerful. It's like an acknowledgement that they can't help him. They're just bystanders now. His fight isn't with them. It has to be with the king, with the consorts. He's drunk the charm. He's ready. He's saving his final words for the person who absolutely needs to hear them. He rides straight past them, toward the Deer Terrace.
Okay, so he reaches the king, and King Zhou doesn't waste time, does he? Just lays it out there.
No ceremony at all, just brutally blunt. The imperial uncle has the exquisite heart. I beg to borrow a piece for the soup to cure the disease. Borrow. Unbelievable.
Wow. Borrow. Bigon must have exploded. How does he respond?
He doesn't hold back. His reply is furious, but he starts, interestingly, by explaining basic anatomy, like talking to a child. He defines the heart, the master of the body, hidden in the lungs. If harmed, death is immediate. He's saying your premise is impossible. This is fatal.
He's trying logic first, but then it shifts, right, from medicine to just pure political fury. He knows logic won't work here.
Exactly. He knows facts are useless against this kind of delusion. So he pivots, and he unleashes the most dangerous insults imaginable against a tyrant. He calls the king a muddled dog and pig, Huchuguzi, just scathing, and blames it all on the newly acquired demoness, the Yaofu. That word, Yaofu, demoness, is aimed right at Hujime, maybe Daji too. He's not just calling them manipulators. He's suggesting they're literal evil spirits causing chaos.
That's not just treason. That's like ultimate defiance. But it's also profound loyalty, isn't it? Speaking truth to power, even at the cost of his life. And then he links his own life to the state itself.
He does. He declares, as long as Big An is here, the mountains and rivers are here. As long as Big An survives, the dynasty survives. He's making it crystal clear. You're not just killing me, you are killing the entire Shang dynasty.
Right. So the king, publicly insulted, denied his insane request. He falls back on the oldest tyrant's excuse.
The absolute final command. A ruler tells a minister to die. Not dying is disloyalty. That's it. No more argument. He orders the guards. The armed guards seize Big An, take his heart. Now,
but Bigon isn't going to let them. He takes control of his own death, doesn't he? His final moments are this incredibly controlled act of defiance. Curses Daji one last time. Says he can face the ancestors without shame. demands a sword.
Yes, and the ritual of it is so important. Before he does anything, he turns towards the ancestral temple. He vows 8 times, weeping. Not for himself, but lamenting that King Insho Kizu is throwing away the entire 28-generation dynasty of Chengtang. His death becomes his final public testimony against the king's rule, proof of the collapse.
And then the act itself, it's gruesome, but the sources add the supernatural element.
They do. He takes the sword, stabs himself below the navel, cuts his own abdomen open, reaches inside, removes his own heart, throws it on the ground, covers the wound, and he just walks away.
Walks away after that.
Walks away. And here's the detail that just stops you cold, the part that points straight back to Jiang Ziya's charm. As he walks away, the text specifically states, Kisubulu, his blood does not flow.
Yep.
No blood. The source makes sure you understand this isn't natural. It's deeply symbolic. A supernatural sacrifice.
Unbelievable. So he walks out, past Marshal Huang and the other officials still waiting there, the ones who saw the decrees coming and going.
Yes. Passes them by. Huang asks him what happened.
Gandigan.
Still silent. His face, the text says, is pale, like gold paper, beyond Rujinzi. Utterly drained, but composed. He just gets back on his horse and rides away quickly. Heads towards the north gate of the city. And that's where the source section we're looking at ends, with this silent, horrifying, almost ghostly exit.